Hey guys. Okay, so I am not doing a February wrap-up this month, because I didn't finish a single book in February, and I'm sad about that. But at the same time, I was watching a whole bunch of the Oscar movies, and I did start a whole bunch of things that I was very much enjoying. So I'm just gonna try to finish those in March. One thing that I am upset that I didn't finish is How Green Was My Valley by Richard Llewellyn, because I was supposed to be buddy reading that with Kate from Kate Howe and Kristen from Vienna Waits Books. And unfortunately, I got sick for like 8 days, and or I guess it wasn't that long, but one of the days I was I was out all day, so I couldn't read anything. But anyway, when I am sick like that, I can't physically read. Like, I can listen to audiobooks as much as I want, but I can't, for some reason, my brain doesn't physically, process physical words. And I think that's because, I don't know why I did the clapping, but anyway. But I think that's because my head gets, it feels really fuzzy when I'm sick. So, yeah, I don't know. But they were both incredibly sweet about, oh, don't worry about it, just catch up when you can. And now it's, a couple weeks later, and I'm finally starting to, catch up with it. I'm hoping to read a massive chunk of it tomorrow. So, yes, hopefully I will finish that in the next few days. And that's, my number one priority for March. And then my other priority is just finishing a whole bunch of the stuff that I didn't finish in February, including, I would say my second biggest priority is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, because I just, I started this last April, and it is my goal to be able to say that I finished War and Peace within a year. Which is kind of gonna be difficult because it is 1,200 pages long, and I'm only on page 328. So, yeah, I have 3/4 of this bad boy to go, so we'll have to see. But I'm really hoping, because I do want to be able to say that, and then I do want to be able to finally watch the new adaptation that I have recorded, and then the 2007 one over again to kind of compare all three. So, yeah, hopefully. And then I want to finish The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, because I finished. I started this in February, and I was really enjoying it, and then just a whole bunch of stuff happened where I wasn't able to continue on with it, but I really want to for this month. And then what else? Oh, I want to read Love's Labour's Lost by William Shakespeare, because I was supposed to read that with Emma from Bookish Princess, but that was the same week that I was sick as well, so that didn't happen. And it's such a short book that she was definitely able to finish it in that week, and I couldn't even start it. So I really want to start and finish that, and hopefully just take a few hours to sit down and read it. And then, are those the only books I'm trying to finish? Oh wait, hang on, I'm missing one. Oh dear. Here we go. Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. This is the last book, I believe, that I started in February that I need to finish. Not that I started War and Peace in February, but yeah. I am 86 pages into this, and it's 300 pages, so I need to finish this. I need to wait till I get the audiobook to finish this. But this is probably lower on my priority list right now, just because there are other things that I feel like reading at the moment, but I do really want to finish this when I get around to it. And then my top 4, I guess, priorities of books to start and finish, if you don't count Love's Labour's Lost, are all buddy reads or books that I'm getting out from the library, so they have a time limit on them. The first is I will be buddy reading Lark Rise, well, technically the whole book, Lark Rise to Candleford by Flora Thompson, with Kate from Kate Howe. But we are only reading Lark Rise this month, so we will be reading Lark Rise this month, over to Candleford in April, and then Candleford Green in May. So yeah, this is a big chunk of a book, so you know, it's good that we're taking the time to kind of read one at a time in the bind-up, I think, and we both really love the TV show, so it'll be a lot of fun to read the book and see if we enjoy the book as much as the TV show or more. So yeah, this will be great. And then I am also buddy reading Oliver Twist with Katie from Books and Things. That's one that I have to get from the library. And it's funny because I'm also, as I said earlier, reading Pickwick Papers this month, but that's why I told Katie that I think I want to read Oliver Twist towards the end of the month, so that I'm not overlapping with my reading for those two, because then that would kind of defeat the purpose of reading Dickens in chronological order. So yes, we're reading that, and that should be a great deal of fun. And then I'm reading Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett with Bree over at StoriesFromtheShelf, I think is her, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her YouTube name. And this is the 6th book in the Discworld series, and it's the first book in the Witches series, which is like one of the individual branches of Discworld. And I am so excited about this, because this is actually one of the first Discworld books that I tried to read, and I don't know, for some reason it just didn't click with me diving into the Discworld with this book. And I also tried the same with Going Postal, and that didn't work. And finally, the one that did hook me into the world was Hogfather. So it'll be exciting to go back into this, having read the previous 5 now. And I think I'm really going to love this. I think that the witches are going to be my second favorite characters after Death and his granddaughter Susan. So very excited about this. Very excited to be reading this with Bree, because I really love reading books alongside other people. You know, having somebody to talk about them with as we're both experiencing the book for the first time. So this will be great. And then my other priority for the month is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, which I have on hold from the library right now. It's kind of weird because I've put the physical and both the physical copy and the audiobook on hold, and right now I don't know, one of them I'm number 1 in line for, which means there's one person ahead of me. Sorry if you heard my TV. And then for the other one, I'm 3rd in line. So basically what I'm going to try to do is, as soon as it says it's available at my library for whatever copy I'm number 1 for, I'm going to wait until the last day of the week-long hold period. And then hopefully by then the other one will also be available. And yeah, so that's my other priority. So I'll probably read that with those other 3 towards the end of March, like the last 2 weeks or so. And then I have a bunch of other things here that I'm kind of in the mood to read, or like I want to get to if I finish everything else. Oh, another one that I have on hold from the library that I'm probably going to end up reading in April, but maybe this month, is Suite Française by it's not Irene, it's like Irene, or not Irene, or Irene, I don't know, Nemirovsky, and this is a book that has been adapted into a film recently that is coming out in the States later in 2016. The reason why I'm watching it is because I saw Far From the Madding Crowd last year when it was in theaters, and I completely fell in love with it. And like, because I think I told you guys, like, I've already read the book and I saw the 98 miniseries, so it's one of my favorite stories. But specifically for this version, like, I knew Carey Mulligan was going to be in it, and I really like her as an actress. She's probably one of my favorite actresses right now. But then also, the guy who plays Gabriel Oak, His name is Matthias Schoenhartz, I think is how you say his last name. I'm not really sure how you say his last name because it sounds way different in English than it does in Dutch. Like when he says it, it sounds beautiful and wonderful, and when I try to say it, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm butchering this name, I know it. But anyway, his portrayal of Gabriel Oak is one of my favorite portrayals of a favorite literary character, just pretty much ever. But I also really like Nathaniel Parker's portrayal as well. But anyway, it was because of this movie that I discovered who he was as an actor, and I started watching a whole bunch of his other films. Since then I've seen A Little Chaos, which I watched with my grandmother because she really likes period films as well. And actually I saw Far From the Madding Crowd with my grandmother as well. But then also I saw Bullhead recently, like a week ago, and that movie, oh my gosh, like his performance in that movie was amazing, but also the movie itself, just at the end I was crying. It was really powerful. It was just really, I really enjoyed it, but it was very hard to watch and just kind of very sad at the end. But yeah, so anyway, the point to all that was that he is going to be, or he is in Sweet Frances, the film adaptation, which is coming out later this year. So yeah, basically I'm trying to watch all of his movies right now. I actually have Rust and Bone on hold at the library, and then, The Drop is on HBO Go, so I'm trying to get my brother to watch that one with me, and that one also has Tom Hardy. So that's like a double bonus because he is another one of my favorite actors right now. So yes, I'm trying to read Sweet Frances, but I don't know if I'll be able to read that in March or April. And as for the rest of these, they're all kind of, maybe I will, maybe I won't, depends on how much reading I get done for the rest of them, or for my other books that kind of take priority. One is Sydney Chambers and the Shadow of Death by James Runcie, which is the first in the Grantchester mysteries. And the reason I got this one is because my mother and I have been rewatching season 1 of Grantchester every week on PBS because they are re-showing the first season because season 2 is coming out on March 27th, I believe. And I realized that I hadn't read any of the books. I have known they were books originally for a while, because Lorna from Suddenly Lorna has been reading these and reviewing them. So I've wanted to read these basically since she started talking about them, and just haven't gotten around to it. So this will be my first one, and I think this one is the main book that the first season is based on. It might also be based on the second book as well, but I'm not really sure. I know at least the first, 3 episodes are based on Shadow of Death, I believe. Maybe? I don't know. But yeah, so I want to start reading these, and then, obviously I won't finish this before season 2 premieres, I don't think, but, I'll at least be starting to catch up with the books. So that'll be fun. And I also got the audiobook for that. And then, for these other 3, actually 4, 3 of them are children's books, which I should be able to read pretty quickly. One is The Carpet People by Terry Pratchett. One is Dragons at Crumbling Castle by Terry Pratchett. And then the last is Johnny and the Bomb by Terry Pratchett, which I've heard that this is a really good trilogy, and I almost listened to Only You Can Save Mankind, the BBC radio adaptation, the other day, and then I realized that it was based on the 3rd book in a trilogy, so I was like, oh, well, I don't want to listen to it because I need to read the first 2 first. So, yeah, I'll be reading these, and then the last one that I probably, again, won't get to until April is Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, because recently, since I've gotten kind of back into my little obsessional mode with Far From the Madding Crowd, I own the DVD now, and I've watched it, I think I've watched it 4 times in the last week, sometimes just skimming through my favorite scenes, just with Bathsheba and Gabriel. But anyway, like, because I've gotten back into my little obsession with it, it really made me want to start reading Hardy again, because Far From the Madding Crowd is so far the only Hardy book that I've read, even though I own 3 others. So I really want to read Tess next, just because, I don't know, this feels like the one that I should read next. And I know it's kind of crinkly and just a little bit gross, but the great thing about this book is that I can, like, bend it any way I wish, and nothing happens to the spine, and it's a very floppy book, so it's good to have. So yeah, I will be reading this, and then whenever I do get around to reading this, I will be rewatching the Gemma Arterton and Eddie Redmayne miniseries, and then I might watch the Justine Waddell film, maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see, but I am very excited about rewatching the 2008 miniseries because it's so good and so sad, and both Gemma Arterton and Eddie Redmayne do such a good job with it. So yeah, that's my last one, but you may see this and Sweet Frances you might see in my April TBR pile. We shall see. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.